Hey, it's the Bennington Show on a Monday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. Chris, I'm going to guess that you played No Rain because it rained so much.
Heavy rain today, Ron, so let's go have No Rain.
That's really brilliant radio.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of that.
Thank you. Tie-in, Ron.
Yeah, it is. It's a top 40 tie-in. Sticks and Stones weekend. I am excited to say this. There was some nervousness about our Moon Tower Unmasked because Colin Quinn had to cancel over his heart attack that he is recovering from. But Chris Stanley, you have a replacement.
And that replacement is Friday, April 20th, 420 at 4 p.m., Unmasked with David Cross.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the Velveeta Room in Austin, Texas. That's this Friday, April 20th.
Wow, it's a big 420 show?
It's a 420 show, yeah, with David Cross.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Smoking doobies.
We ought to bring doobage for everybody, you know, so cool. I'm smoking weed, so cool.
And you can go to the ibang.com to request tickets to Unmasked with David Cross this Friday, 420.
And then the following day, on Saturday, we are helping to kick off a political campaign.
That's Judah 2020, the World Champs Presidential Press Conference. That's Judah Friedlander. That's happening Saturday, April 21st, 5 p.m. in the Velveeta Room. That's in Austin, Texas. ibang.com to request tickets.
And Chris, you're going to put this together like it's a big campaign stop?
It's going to be beautiful in that room, Ron.
Okay. That was a very Trumpian thing to do.
You're going to love it. You're going to love what we do.
I've got so much to do that week, Chris. I'm going to ignore everything until I get there.
Good, because it's going to be great when you get there.
See, I'm already ignoring you.
You're going to walk into that room and be like, I can't believe this.
Will you be playing No Rain if it rains that day?
It'll be on the playlist. I'll have it just in case.
All right, I don't want to start this as a negative, and I hate to be just the old school, everything was better. But if I have to read another thing about how Beyonce rules Coachella and how she rules over music, I could not be more embarrassed for the young generation.
You must be talking about Baychella, correct?
Are they calling it Baychella now?
They're calling it Baychella because Beyonce is bigger than Coachella itself and dominated the entire show.
That's according to the New York Times. The New York Times, the paper of record, actually said Beyonce is bigger than Coachella. This is, I believe, ran on the front page. Obviously, Jen just feels on top of the world. Jen, did you watch it online?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I caught some after the fact because so many people were talking about it. Let me just say this. Coachella was a big rock thing, okay? Beyonce, not to take away a single thing from her and her talent, but she's Vegas, right? For me, this would be like seeing Cher at Woodstock. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. That act that she doesn't belong in the desert with everybody on Molly.
It's not a rock thing, but the rock is minority now.
I understand that, but Coachella was a rock thing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't just go. I know we live in a populist society. I get that. Donald Trump has taught me that. And that Beyonce is populist. But at some point, can you just have a rock thing?
That can't happen anymore.
I
feel like I can't even get into a debate on this. Jen, let me go to you because I know that you're hardcore about this.
Yeah, I love
Why does this make sense?
Because Beyonce is like she's the biggest star in the world right now.
Okay. And we could have said that 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
But she's like at her prime right now.
I've heard that for 15 years. Here's the thing. It doesn't mean that she should get the things that she doesn't belong at. That's my only point there. I think it's so great that people enjoy her and all the single ladies go out to see her. She's earned that. But again, would you have wanted to see Beyonce at Woodstock? And Coachella was trying to line itself up like it was going to be a rock thing.
Well, I don't think that they were because they had all rappers and
No, they have gone that way. You are correct. There's no doubt about it. It's Instagram. Basically, it's a chance to go out and see your favorite Instagram stars. But is there some place we could be free of that? I take it's not Coachella. That's already moved on. But yeah, I am closer to being depressed about this in the same way that I see people freaking out at every Star Wars movie, regardless what it is.
Was the problem for you that the biggest thing was everyone was talking about? No, not only did she do costume changes, but she had manicure changes mid-set.
Yes, that is the kind of stuff. That is the kind of stuff that is so Kardashian. It's a Kardashian thing.
I mean, I find her very entertaining, but yes, Coachella is no longer, it's long past a rock festival. It has very little to do with that. And this was just like a massive pop show. Like it was just Super Bowl level production.
And yet, I mean, that will be at every single thing now. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It is about the production more than it is the music. And seriously, I don't understand why anybody's excited to see a marching band at a fucking big rock thing. And when you do I'm not saying that you can't have big visuals, but it's supposed to move people's drug experiences forward. Okay? Not a fucking giant fucking jack off to the performer. Right. That's what this thing is. It's like going to see the fucking Queen. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Did you guys see Adele freaking out watching Beyonce? She had posted this a series of videos on her Instagram of her just losing her mind watching Beyonce.
Yeah, obviously. And now that makes it about that thing, you know what I mean? Where we're all supposed to say, Adele just crushed winning the internet. And by the way, I doubt very much that this was even live. This was her production of putting it together after.
Right.
And her waist looks very small.
She lost some lbs.
Yeah, that's the other thing now we're supposed to figure out, like what fucking diet is she on? And again, I am so cut off from the culture. This is no different than if I heard everybody freaking out about the Star Wars Avengers fucking crossover. Can there just be something occasionally that's fucking real? Jack White was on the other night.
Yeah.
On SNL. Still seems like an organic performer. Still seems like a real fucking guy. But does no one have any interest in Jack White?
I think unless you're like a Jack White fan, no one's outside is going to be looking at Jack White. Like he's not going to mainline Coachella.
He's not going to mainline. That's fucking mean.
Coachella.
Fucking shooting heroin.
He's not from the main line, is what you're saying.
Right.
He's not fancy.
All right. I realize I'm alone with it, guys. I realize I'm alone with it. And,
well, she's this generation's Michael Jackson. It's like she's not a rock goddess, but she is a pop goddess. And she's like the biggest thing going.
Then why doesn't she do what Michael Jackson did?
Which
and
part?
Die.
Oh, no.
Just shoot enough fucking dope until you die.
Coachella is so weird because it seems like that's the one festival that people care more about the audience than the fucking performers. And it's just mostly just people like, I'm going to Coachella, I'm going to put it on my Instagram.
Yes, but that is the last of it. There's no other thing to that. Like the thing that was supposed to be alternate, to this kind of stuff, an alternative. And it is, of course not. It is just whatever this shit is. And it isn't about fucking music. And really, we're supposed to fucking care again that she put Destiny's Child back together?
Threw him a bone.
Kelly Rowland.
By the same fucking way. Would the Supremes have gotten over at Woodstock? No. The Supremes were a big act. Everybody loved the Supremes, but they did not belong at Woodstock.
Yeah, Coachella they lost their brand, particularly a while ago when I just thought it looked more like cosplay. It looked almost like a Comic-Con, but for music.
That's what everything is now. Everything is Comic-Con. Everything is. I'm telling you, if suddenly the fucking Russians started parachuting into this country, I don't think anybody would move. We would not have Wolverines.
Guess you're in charge now. Thanks.
I don't think it could be worse. I don't think it could be worse right now if the Russians came and took over.
Oh, God.
All right. Queen Bey. That's what it's all about.
Guess we're all part of the Bay Hive.
All right, Chris. You're trying to do your little Instagram like I'll do the things like I say ironically, but it's the same thing that if you do it sincerely. It's the same thing. I feel like I'm with fucking pod people.
Oh, God.
I know I was making a mistake by bitching about it. I know I would get us started to a negative scene. Gail, what's the big story for you?
The big story for me is this weekend, John Mulaney on SNL being introduced by Daryl Hammond as John Mulvaney, not once but twice. In a very, very uncomfortable moment. Ladies and gentlemen, John Mulvaney.
And your host, John Mulvaney. Ladies and gentlemen, John Mulvaney.
I'm going to blame this on Lorne Michaels because why is Daryl Hammond doing that thing? It's no longer an iconic voice. They didn't try to replace the last iconic voice with another one. And you got a guy, since he's not a real announcer, he's not going to sit around and think about it the way a real announcer would. A real announcer would be working that shit all week long.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's extra uncomfortable because John Mulaney worked there for 6 seasons as a writer. So it's so uncomfortable because Daryl Hammond absolutely should know who he is.
But I bet Lauren and Daryl went, no big deal.
They just didn't even
just
care.
a name. We fucked up.
I know Daryl Hammond just recently tweeted to apologize because there was a big controversy on the internet because people weren't sure if it was a joke, if it was going to lead into a bit, if he was going to reference it in his monologue, because it just seemed so weird. I've never heard anyone misspeak the name of the host.
Well, normally, here's the thing. Normally, the host is a giant star, not a guy that used to work there.
Which is, I think, why people thought, is this supposed to be like some sort of bit? Like he's going to go like, oh, I know that I'm not that big of a star. But it just, there was no reference to it.
Well, because it was an actual mistake. It wasn't a bit at all. And Daryl, please don't bring it to his attention because he gets some really low lows. You know what I mean? Daryl has some bad days.
Well, I was thinking of that too because everyone was tweeting to him immediately. Because you know how on Twitter, especially SNL, because it's a live show, it's just like constant.
Yeah.
And it was like within a second, it was just like hundreds of tweets to Daryl Hammond.
And he was just probably losing his shit and slapping himself.
Crying.
And crying. So what did he tweet as an apology?
He just said, this was just an honest mistake. I was trying to do 2 things at once, and I misspoke.
Why would you be trying to do 2 things at once? You got one thing to do all week. They took fucking Trump away from you for this very reason.
Just concentrate, Daryl.
You know, the whole time, like, he was at SNL, he never even used to interact with the other people or anything.
Oh, really?
He was always off on his own. And, basically every week his bit was the cold opening because he did all the political guys. And then he was almost out of the show after that.
Well, he saw so many casts go by, and then there was a point that it was almost like he was like the dad of the show. Like he wasn't with the group.
Hey, that happens. Listen to me. I'm fucking sitting around talking about Beyonce with people just staring at me. In my day, we had the Cats and Jamma kids, and believe me, they brought it. Yeah, I was. I'm not surprised to see this kind of mistake go down. I get it completely. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy? You're on the air.
Ronnie B.
Hey,
How's it going?
cool.
Gail, congrats
Oh, thank you so much.
Super happy for you.
Thank you.
I grew up in Palm Springs, California, which is in the Coachella Valley, and went to the first year of Coachella. It was this one-day just concert. It was just a rock concert. I think
Right.
Rage Against the Machine was the headliner. And now it sells out before they even announce the headliner or any of the lineup. It's just about going out, doing drugs, and putting it on your Instagram story. That's the whole event.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, that's America now, though. You know what I mean? It's not like Coachella has changed. It's America has changed. And what America thinks is important has changed. There is no other side from popular culture. There is no fucking other side. You might as well put Kim Kardashian on stage.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, that bugs me is that Coachella fashion, it's not bad, but it's fake. I mean, these people don't dress like this normally. If this was a gathering of a group of people who were like, oh, this is how we self-express and this is who we are, but they actually say like festival-ready outfits and things like that. Like, oh, they're wearing fringe and they're wearing, boots with short shorts and flower crowns. And it's like, well, that's fine, but you don't dress like that. Like, you're just playing costume.
But that is what people do now all the time. If you go to a movie, are you dressed as the fucking characters? If you go to a football game, are you dressed like you're fucking on the team? We're nuts. We're out of our goddamn minds nuts. And to me, that was the saddest thing about Black Panther. All right, now we don't even have that society to fucking bring cool. They've moved over with the nerds now.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. Anyway, thanks, Kyle. Mike, what's up? Mike, we got you, buddy?
Ronnie,
Yeah, go ahead.
$1 million, buddy. Gail,
Thanks.
congratulations.
Thank you, darling.
Ronnie, congratulations on meeting Grandpa.
Thanks. I'm not a big fan of that word, and it's what people say to me 95%, but I've never heard the word grandpa in my neighborhood my whole life. It seems like a very odd thing to call somebody.
What do you call your grandpa?
I called him Pop.
What you call him? Pop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, a little Coachella Valley history.
Coachella.
The Bugs Bunny cartoon, he made a left turn at Pasadena and wound up not in the Coachella Valley. It was in a cartoon I watched with my nephew this weekend. I was like, no shit.
Well, I remember he was always trying to dig his way to Pismo Beach, too.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
he
always
was
thought
going
that
to-
Pismo Beach must have been a giant fucking cool beach.
Paradise.
Yeah.
He was looking for the Carrot Festival in the Coachella Valley.
They're, we turn around, talk about culture. We peaked with bugs. We'll never get that big again.
Ever.
Chris, why don't you plug again what we're doing?
We're going to Moon Tower, and this Friday, April 20th at 4 p.m., we're doing Unmasked with David Cross at the Velveeta Room in Austin, Texas. You go to ibang.com to request tickets. And on Saturday, it's Judah Friedlander 2020, the World Champs Presidential Press Conference. That's happening Saturday, April 21st, 5 p.m. at the Velveeta Room, ibang.com to request tickets.
Bum.
Those are two great shows. I wish I was going.
Go Pack Joe wants us to know that rock is still big in Russia. Yeah, but the worst kind of rock.
And it's attended by Russian people.
I don't have any problem with that because the chicks are great, but they like some shitty bands over there.
It's all
They
metal.
do like some, they have a lot of metal there. Germany has the same thing where like they're into rock, but then they're also into like industrial metal.
Right.
So it's like, that's not really what.
Well,
is
the
an
thing is, it
improvement.
doesn't lyrically that'll work for you no matter where you are in the world. You don't need to know the lyrics to be big into that sound.
Right.
The butt fumbler was suspended by the NFL. And what exactly was he doing, Chris?
It was performance enhancing drugs. So he's
And when would we ever know that his performance has been enhanced? At what fucking point? What did he do? Fucking actually throw a pass that wasn't picked?
I think they probably noticed once they saw the ball bounce so hard off his butt. They're like, that seems extra muscly back there.
Well, he's the guy who runs into butts. That's his thing.
Right.
It was never about his butts. It was that he couldn't stay away from others. Right. It's the Bennington show on a Monday. Chrissy and I will be heading to Moon Tower, but Gail will be here doing the shows all weekend. And then Friday is our 3rd year anniversary, which has come so incredibly fast.
I can't believe it's been 3 years. I cannot believe it. Feels like we just started this show.
I tried to go back over it. I go, oh, you're saying that we're starting our 3rd year. You know what I mean? Like, so it's 2 years and the 3rd year starts, but no, we're actually starting our 4th year.
Yes.
That's insane to me.
It's really, really crazy. It really feels like it was just yesterday. Like, I can't imagine 3 years has gone by. So I'm very excited. We're going to celebrate that on air on Friday.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. All right. Here's a big story, Gail, that's going to tie into you about the baby shower, that a grandma was arrested at the baby shower and she had somebody in a chokehold.
Like, what is it about family gatherings? They're just like, they're never nice. This is always where the drama happens.
Let's point this out. What has happened to white people where the redneck thing is now the norm for white people?
It's the norm and it's very embraced. It's a prideful thing. It's not like you would say, hey, don't call me a redneck or don't call me white trash. It's like, yeah, I'm a redneck. Yeah, I'm white trash. But
let's point this out, too, about white trash. And I don't know why white people accept it. You can't do that with any other group of people. You can't say Asian trash. You can't say Puerto Rican trash. But white trash is very acceptable.
Well, I think the reason why it's acceptable is actually because it's racist in another way. It's like you have to specify that the trash is white. See what I mean? Like, it's almost more offensive to other races.
By saying white trash instead of just white?
Well, by saying, like, they're white trash. Like, they're not the typical trash you would see. They're specifically white. So it's like, it's pretty much offensive to everyone. Like, the term is a blanket offensive
my problem is just how acceptable white people are of it now, to being called white trash.
They love it. They embrace it. And this kind of drama is just like, is all over the internet all the time. And it's always, you know, rednecky families pulling this kind of stuff where you think it's funny that your grandma had someone in a chokehold at a baby shower.
By the way, even the redneck thing came from, they work in the fields like minorities. You know what I mean?
Right.
That the reason why your neck was red, because you were leaned over picking beans or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
So basically it was always saying, these are white people who act like poor minority people.
Right. These are field workers. But in this case, they're white.
But now, these people don't even work in fields. No. They just this woman was a cop off duty. Oh, and I guess somebody had said something about the fetus and she wasn't taking it.
Well, you know, it's funny because I was looking up shows on demand to see, you know, like when you're pregnant, you're just like wanting to find information all the time. So I was trying to see if there were any, you know, good pregnancy shows, birth shows, anything. The only thing I could find was the new version of like 16 and Pregnant, which is like Teen Mom. And it's basically what you just described. It's like trashy people having baby showers, fighting, screaming at each other, baby mama drama, all that kind of stuff. And this is pretty much the only show that like about pregnant people that you can find on TV.
Is there a white trash channel? Is there a 100% white trash channel? The way, what was the gay channel used to be called?
Logo? Oh, yeah.
That is fucking literally homophobic. There's one gay show on there. Yes,
Logo,
it was
right?
Logo. Thank you, Gail. He just says bravo.
He just thinks one apple spoils the bunch.
Or
then
makes
it's all
the
gay.
bunch. I got to tell you this. I was with Chris on a conference call over the weekend, and he coughed all through it. And not only that, but he was hacking. He was going like this. All right, so what we're going to do is... And I was laughing until I thought, wait, how many calls is he representing me that I'm not on to hear this? How many times is someone being booked on the show or he's dealing with management and doing that?
It's awful, Chris. Why are you always in a state of unhealthiness?
I didn't think you heard it. I was trying to do it off, like it was on speaker.
It was literally every line that you had. Any time that it was Chris' time to talk, started with this hack, gurgling, I'm going to say mouth puke. And again, I thought it would be really funny, except for I know that you speak for me at different times. And I'm like, I allow myself, I'm white trash, I guess.
No.
Chris, you're not allowing people to hear you this sickly, are you?
No, and Vito has heard me talk on the phone for you, and I put on a totally different voice. I put on a very professional voice for you.
Do you back this up?
Yeah, phone Chris is, hey there, how's everything going?
All right, so he's off the hook. A lot of times you guys battle back and forth, so I'm glad to hear you back him up here. Now I know that's true. All right, Chris, I'll drop the gimmick.
I don't think that's any better, this voice that Vito just did. Hi, guys. It's Chris.
James in Ohio. James, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie. I was just wondering if you ever got a chance to catch that Eric Clapton special on, I think it was HBO, maybe it was Showtime, but...
I still have not. I watched the part 1 of Elvis.
I watched part 1 of Elvis, too. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. Again, it was one of those things where I didn't feel like I was learning anything new, but Tom Petty really went to bat for Elvis in a big, big way. So weird that Tom Petty's gone now, too. Vito, you're over there taking the Elvis towel to your face, huh?
Yeah.
You're sweating?
Just sweating, wiping my nose. I get glistening in here.
Mm-hmm. He gets glistening.
I didn't even know that was a word for someone's face.
The sweat factor with our team is really concerned.
We can't control the temperature in here. There's a button that I think the temperature says May to December. I'm not sure, but I don't know how it works. I don't know if you want to feel like it's December or the temperature should be December.
Seems like there's got to be somebody you could have asked by now, son.
Or just experiment.
Instead of showing up with paper towels and wiping your face all during the show.
And changing your whole style based on sweatbands. Working sweatbands into your outfits.
Oh, he's got a Mets cap going now.
Oh, God.
You watch basketball over the weekend, Vito?
I did see the Sixers game, and I saw the end of the Celtics-Bucks game. That like 5
Well, that was
seconds.
a hell of a game, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was basically March Madness, but in the NBA, a 0.5 second shot up to tie it for 3. It was nuts.
March Madness, but in the NBA. It's basketball.
Well, yeah, but like
it's basically saying
March Madness is built on like everything's buzzer beaters. Just every day is a different buzzer beater.
I don't think so. I think that's the game of basketball.
It happens occasionally.
And it also happens in basketball during the season. But yeah, those shots at that was really fucking, it was just a blast. Basketball's so great. LeBron, for the first time ever, he's behind in in this section of the playoffs. And he goes like this. Look, I was down 3-1 in the finals. This is nothing from me. I like that angle. This is a story that's kind of sad. Huey Lewis says he cannot hear and had to suspend his tour this summer, but his rock and roll ears got to him.
That's so heartbreaking because I think you hear about it a lot where someone loses their voice, like they blow out their vocal cords a lot of times when they're rock singers. But I never really thought about there are so many factors to that. Like if you lose your hearing, your career is over as well.
Well, that's exactly what happened with AC/DC. And that's why Axl Rose is touring with them now. It doesn't matter when you can't hear. You don't know whether you're in tune or what you're doing either. You know what I mean? Like you can't find the right notes because you're deaf as fuck.
I know that's going to go for me. I can already feel it. Like, I have pretty shitty hearing for someone my age.
Well, you know what? That's on your mom's side of the family, too, so you'll probably go that way. But hearing aids are getting 100% better. You know, you can't even fucking see them anymore.
I know. I was actually noticing it recently because someone will tell you that they have a hearing aid, but you don't realize it. When I was a kid, it was like this huge unit stuck on the side of someone's head.
Well, when I was a kid, it was a big horn that you had to stick it in the end of your ear and then lean over.
Hello?
I don't know. At least that's what it was in cartoons. Plug away, Chris.
We're going to be going to Moon Tower this Friday, April 20th, 420 at 4 p.m. Unmasked with David Cross at the Velveeta Room in Austin, Texas. Go to the ibang.com to request tickets. And on Saturday, April 21st at 5 p.m., Judah 2020, the World Champs Presidential Press Conference. That's happening Saturday, April 21st at 5 p.m. at the Velveeta Room, the ibang.com for tickets.
That's going to be so much. That's going to be so much fun. Hey, Vito, you have a story up on the iBang that a teacher was actually running a fight club?
Yeah, so this teacher in his classroom has kids fighting each other and filming it. And when he was asked, why would you ever do this? He said, I just wanted the kids to connect with me and think that I'm cool.
Oh, God.
How old is he?
It was he looks like a mid-20s guy. He doesn't look old at all.
Yeah.
And it was high school kids. So like this isn't, for some reason I feel like high school kids is much more vicious than elementary school because these are like real fucking fights.
Yeah, but elementary school you would actually feel bad because they were little kids forced into it.
Yeah.
For high school boys are just ready to throw down.
And they're less likable, to be honest.
If I was running the school district, I'd give him 1 day suspension and let's get him right back in there. And he looks like a little kid himself.
Yeah, he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
And most of those kids probably never even seen Fight Club, so I wonder if he showed it to them first.
I don't think you need to see Fight Club to actually be able to say you two guys are fighting each other.
You know what the thing is? It's right there in the name.
Yeah. It's pretty put together. And the beauty of Fight Club, it wasn't about training and fucking becoming a better fighter. They just had the thing of, hey, being in a fight is good for you.
Yeah, and like, yeah, they were kind of like didn't want it to be too official, right? Like they just tried to just like throw scrappy people together.
Well,
that's the idea of this great high school fight club.
The thought of even Fight Club is getting your ass is good for you. Just getting your ass beat is good. Just don't make a big deal out of it all the time. Hey, Dan in St. Pete.
Hey, Ron, with the upcoming Unmasked you have with David Cross, have you gotten a screener for his new TV show, Bliss?
Well, we just found out that we're doing this. Chris just told me about this. So, Chris, have you got me the screener for Bliss?
Oh, you'll have it this afternoon or this evening, let's be honest.
Do you know what it's about?
It's David Cross created this show. It's with Heather Graham, and it's only airing right now on Sky TV in England, and it's about, I think, polygamy.
You seen it, Dan?
Yes, I have. It's already aired in March, so it's finished 6 episodes. Incredible show. He doesn't star in it, but he wrote and directed every episode.
And it is about polygamy?
Yes, it is.
I could never understand anyone's beef with polygamy. I know we were supposed to be down on the Mormons about it, but it just seems like if you're going to let adults do whatever they want to do, why would you say how many people they can be married to and how?
It makes
I agree.
no sense.
I think that especially if you're talking about like consenting adults who want to have a relationship with multiple people, like what is the big problem with it anyway? Is it like a tax issue? Why are people so
I would
against
imagine that it doesn't fit into that 1950s. The kids come home and they have family values. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people just always act like, if the kids see shit like that happen, they're going to grow up to be weirdos.
How are we going to explain this to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like that idea is just completely made up. I mean, we set things up as a society. We create our own rules.
Right.
So that's just like a structure we made up ourselves. Like, a child needs a mother and a father and they need that kind of stability. Well, we just made that up. You know, if we had our society ran any other way, whether that was multiple people in your family or that was one parent, whatever, we would think the other thing is weird. It's the same idea that they said about gay marriage. Like, that's not how children are raised. Well, we made it up how children were raised.
And yeah, it is true. Like, some children grew up and there's a grandmother who lives there. In some places, there's not.
Right.
And how do you explain it to them?
That's really funny. I never thought about that when people say, like, oh, how do you explain if you don't have a dad or something? But the idea of, like, I have extra people living in my house. Yeah. I have an aunt, unemployed, some elderly people. They've been out of work for a while.
Well, by the way, my aunt stares out the window a lot, and a lot of times she's thinking that the ships are coming back to pick her up.
But you know what? We had fun.
Yeah, as far as how do you explain something to a kid, you could tell that fucker anything you want.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
dumb as dirt.
You're the one who establishes that. The idea of, like, they're going to feel bad about themselves comes from you feeling insecure because you think that they have a different life.
How do you explain to children that sometimes adults die? Vito, did you feel different because you didn't have a dad?
I was just always amazed by watching the father-son relationship or father-anybody relationship. I just didn't understand it. Like, I'd see, like, a father and son, like, acting like they were friends and stuff, and I just didn't get it. And like, watching a father and son fight, and, like, when, like, they're teens or, like, that age and actually, like, coming close to blows, I just couldn't get it because I would never punch my mom.
Some kids do punch their mom, though.
No, I couldn't
they're
punch Leslie.
terrible.
Well, no one said you could, Vito. You're missing the whole point. You didn't have a dad. That's why we're laughing at you. He fucking derails it into I could never punch my mom. We know you couldn't punch your mom, mama's boy.
Now, Chris, despite the fact that you're missing two parents
Yes.
as an adult, do you feel superior to Vito because you did have parents as a child?
Oh yeah, I feel much better that I had my dad. You know,
Your
much
junkie dad?
my junkie dad.
Yeah, I
my
don't know what
junkie
I'd feel better if I was you.
booze brain dad. And they by the way never felt the need to explain anything to me, and I didn't even ask. It was very we had a real separate lives.
I got news for you. I didn't ask my parents anything either. I would
Right.
never go around asking what's going on here.
Once my mom was like, she tried to explain death to me. And like how they're gonna die one day, and I freaked out and said, "No, you're not gonna die. Why are we having this conversation?"
It was true, though.
Yeah, I know it was true.
You should have
She was-
paid attention.
She was spot on.
4 family members died within, like, a year when I was a kid, and then I was at the point where I was just very fine with death at a young age.
You grew up in Vietnam. That's why you were that way. It wasn't easy for your family.
Was that you covered? Was that you covered in napalm that I saw?
Oh, God. His little fucking chubsy-ubsy body all fucking burn up. And he's screaming, running down there. That'd have been adorable.
But still dressed as a kitty cat.
All right, Trump just said this. With the tax cuts, this country is starting to rock.
Do you see Coachella though?
Yeah. We opened the show feeling exactly different. We opened the show saying rock is dead.
Maybe he's gonna start his own festival.
I know, maybe his thing should be like make America rock again. I think he could get a lot of people on his side.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind if he fucking suddenly was able to bring rock back. He'd have my vote. That's you said you're getting this thing for me tonight?
Yeah, you'll have it tonight.
How am I going to get it?
Via email.
You mean I got to watch streaming?
You're gonna have to watch streaming. No DVDs or Blu-rays.
Hey, Alan, what's up?
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this whole thing about death is an interesting conversation.
It is.
We have a goddaughter who is staying with us, her and her 4-year-old boy. And within 72 hours, we lost the child's favorite cat and his grandfather, who died of influenza B unexpectedly.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Which did the kid take worse?
Pardon?
The cat or the grandfather? Which one freaked the kid out the most?
You know, I think the story is still out on that.
Yeah.
personally. He was real stoic when he and I were burying Buddy out in the backyard. We had the conversation about going to heaven and all that part. And I think the grandfather thing hasn't quite settled in yet. His mom and he have been cleaning out grandfather's place, because with if you die intestate like that, you got to sort through the stuff, and there's all kinds of stuff. But I think the most important factor was that he got to go into the hospital, give him that hug, have his grandfather tell him he loved him, and go from there.
Yeah, it's rough stuff. Yeah, it's crazy rough stuff.
None of us get out of it alive.
Nah, no, we don't. The thing about a pet, I can remember being in first grade and I came home from a trip to the museum and being told that my bird died, and I didn't even like that bird or care about that bird. It was just like a little parakeet, and I don't even know how we couldn't even tell you its name. But I remember the shock of hearing the bird was dead. And I can now remember a big part of that day, even though I'm like, how much do you remember from first grade? But I think because the bird died, I remember thinking this is an awful, awful day for me, because so we're at the museum and I was going to buy something to drink with my lunch, but I was too little to put the coins in, and so I couldn't get a drink. And I don't know why that's funny to you, Chris. My bird died, and I'm still. And then I remember my mom was yelling at me, "Why didn't you just get the man or find a man to do it?" Like she was mad that I didn't have a beverage. And then she told me that the bird died. God. And I'm like, this is the worst fucking day. I was so thirsty at lunch, and now my bird's dead. I couldn't tell you the name of that bird or how long we had it, but it was just the shock that something was dead.
Yeah, I can remember that feeling. I remember when I had my turtle die, and then it wasn't even so much about the turtle. It wasn't, obviously with the turtle, you don't have like a long emotional connection to a turtle, but it was a huge deal to me. And then I remember the thing that I just was doing was I laid on the floor with my dog and was hugging and crying and crying into his fur, because I was like, and he's gonna die too.
Yes, that's what you realized. Do you remember what I said to you too, Gail, about the turtle? I told you that it was a slow death. Yeah, I don't think any children should have any tiny pets.
I know, what I mean? It really is. But then is it important, because then it's a lesson for death? Like, is it a mini lesson for death?
Who wants a lesson for death?
It sucks.
Doesn't make death any better.
Well, like we said, Chris could have maybe listened to the lesson, but he didn't. Maybe if he had had a pet.
Well, he didn't. I mean, his parents still would have died. He wouldn't have cherished them.
You don't think he would have said, "No, it's fine. I've been through this. My turtle died."
Oh, they wouldn't. They did no pets in the Stanley household. They did not want a pet to die. And I remember they had like 4 cats. And as a child, I was like, why don't we have, I want a cat or a dog or whatever. Like, yeah, we used to have cats. We sent them up to the farm. They gave me that fucking lie. I didn't even realize that they just fucking put them all down when I was
Do you know, I tried to talk my kids out of getting a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was going to die. And I said, you're not going to like how you're going to feel at the end of this thing. And they still wanted it. And then it was years later.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when that dog died, all I could think of is the day we got the dog.
Oh.
And I had told them not to get this dog and how excited they were with it. And then I knew the pain that we all felt. I just wanted to say, what did I fucking tell everybody?
I know, because that was probably like 12, 13 years later.
Yeah, it was literally that long. So now the kids are grown up. You know what I mean? And now I'm just saying, oh, not only is the dog dead, but so is their childhood.
Yeah, that was 100% what it felt like. We have nothing left of youth. if he's gone. I know it is a weird. I mean, look, when I got my dog, even as an adult, I felt that way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here's something that's just going to make me really sad one day.
That's how I felt when I hired Chris.
Oh, shit.
Because I knew you were going to OD.
Not yet, Ron.
Could you once swear that you could be honest?
Yes.
Have you had a big fight with your girlfriend yet?
I have not. Not yet.
Not even one
I
fight?
I swear to God. It's fucking weird.
Not even a disagreement?
Come on.
Maybe no big blowout fights. But yeah, maybe I should eat healthier. That's something that comes up every now and then.
She's right about that.
I don't think she is. I think I look great. But no giant blowouts.
You've never raised your voice to her?
Not yet.
And you hit your last girlfriend.
You beat her.
I never beat her. We did yell a lot.
But you slapped back at her. You said when she started hitting you, you were hitting her arms as she was swinging.
I had to hold her down, Ron. She had to calm the fuck down. You're not going to calm down if you're swinging.
How come you still
like
have
a monster.
allergies in the rain?
I don't know.
There should be a time that there's no allergies.
I know. And I have allergies in the spring too, but everything he experiences is at an extreme.
I know.
Even if there's a cold going around and everyone gets a little cold, he has something that just lays him out and he sounds terrible. Like you experience sickness on a deeper level.
Yeah, he does.
It's my ravaged immune system.
It's so sad.
I feel like I should be getting stronger, not weaker.
I know you think that.
Hey, Mike. Mike, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Gail. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I think you were actually due around the same time my wife is due with our first son, so very excited.
Nice.
My wife's excited for you, too.
Maybe the kids can play together.
They could be friends.
Yeah, we'll work that out. Come on down to the harbor. That'll be great.
Okay.
Hey, Gail, I wanted to first thank you for turning me on to Sturgill Simpson. I guess it was probably like a year and a half ago. I really love that dude and his music, so I'd love to return the favor. You guys were talking about rock, and Florentine kind of turned me on to Greta Van Fleet, and my brother, too. I heard it from a couple places around the same time. Have you guys heard of them yet?
Yeah, I heard the same thing from Florentine. Is obsessed with them. Yeah.
Check them out. I think this new album's called From the Fires. I think it's only like 8 or 9 songs. It's a quick listen, but, man, these kids are good. They're really good, Ronnie.
All right, thanks.
I'm going to check them out.
So that's the sound, and that's the thing that, of course, Florentine likes the Led Zeppelin-ness of it all. A little too close still? Yeah, what's your pull on that?
Yeah, I think that it's pretty, although I enjoy it. It's not like I would say, oh, you can't do it. I think that, all music is influenced by things, but yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like an exact replication.
Yeah, that's not exactly influence. The phrasing is different, but the voice is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Too close for you, or can you enjoy it, Chris?
Way too close for me. Sorry, Jim Florentine.
Well, it's not his band. He's just a guy that enjoys it.
Did you think he was the manager?
No. Here's the thing. Vito has never heard of Led Zeppelin, so this might be easier for him.
Yeah, I was like, what's this fresh new sound I'm hearing?
All right, then I'm going to give you another song called Black Dog, and you're going to go fucking nuts.
This fresh new sound.
I was with Florentine the other day, and he kept saying to the audience, hey, everybody, let's hear it for Ronnie and his little boy's haircut.
What?
He thought he had a little boy's haircut, which was making me laugh the entire weekend.
That's a nice man.
Yeah. You know you shook me, Florentine. I don't know. I just want to rock, and I went through that Beyonce thing today.
I know
you, kids.
You do.
You know what bothers me is like you guys don't care that rock is dead. You know what I mean? Like you acknowledge it, but I see it means nothing to you. And then I tell you film is dead, and you're like, oh yeah, it's dead. But you take no responsibility for it, just like you don't care about the Australian reef and the bees.
Well, in my defense, I think this is probably why I don't think of it this way, is because when I was young and listening to new music, I was always listening to music that was more underground and a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I liked a lot of subgenres. So I never liked any rock music that was the main rock music. Cause
yes,
that
you
was
were supposed to have it. You were supposed to raise that up.
Yes.
That was your job to raise that music up.
But
okay?
instead, we met in secret in small venues.
For those about to rock, we salute you. It's not for those about to rock, we whisper it. Michael in Colorado.
Hi, guys. How are we doing today?
Well, I'm trying to do better, Mike, but you know what I mean? I'm with a bunch of young people that just lack passion.
I understand. I just wanted to say that, you know, if this kid is singing like that, and that's the way he sings, sometimes it's kind of a blessing and a curse to have a voice, or even if you're a guitar player, whatever, that sounds that much like somebody else.
Right.
It can be just, detrimental.
No, it is true. It is true. It's like it's going to take you to a certain place. And who knows? Maybe these kids are going to find a sound a little different than Led Zeppelin. But on the other hand, everybody sits around and still listens to Led Zeppelin every fucking day. You know, if it's so fucking terrible, throw it away. Yeah, fine. I don't know. This fucking rain is driving people crazy, though. I walked in today. There were so many people that looked like they just stayed home, that they didn't even leave. It was just empty streets. And then a lot of the people who had left their homes hung themselves. So I went past like 7 hanging bodies on the way in here today.
No one's even come down yet?
This is awful.
Well, I'm not cutting anybody down. I went through their pockets.
I woke up to the crack of thunder, and it was like the most terrifying alarm clock.
I woke like night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wandered. Fucking started humming a song from 1962. No, that fucking thunder, the thunder was rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling, and winds were just howling, and people were hanging themselves. It was just terrible, terrible weather.
I always hate that thing. I like the sound of sleeping just with light rain, but I always hate that thing when you wake up in the morning and it's just so dark because the overcast is so thick and the rain is so thick, so it just feels like you're waking up in the middle of the night. So you never truly wake. You don't see sun. You're just like, well, I guess I'm in some sort of weird dream state.
Well, everybody is trying to get some nice weather for a couple of days. I don't give a fuck what part of the country you're in right now. People are like, let me just have a week or two of nice weather. And since they're not getting it, people are starting to get a little fucking crazy.
Yeah, April is like, especially mid to late April, if you haven't had a nice stretch of weather, you'll accept one step backwards here and there. But if you don't have a nice stretch, you start to feel really fucking crazy. We had one nice day. We had one day that we're like, oh, here's spring. And every other day was just really depressing and cold.
I was down in Maryland yesterday, and it was so cold, and the rain was coming in sideways, and then there was just all these beautiful cherry blossoms. Like, it was like really gorgeous, except for I was in the middle of Werewolves of London weather. I thought I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking down the street, and he was doing the Werewolves of London. Look who it is. It's Party Shots Bob, the man who took over Street Jokes.
Hey, Ron, have you seen Bosch yet?
I have not bothered with Bosch yet.
Okay, I won't, no spoilers, but has any daughter of a cop show ever been anything but a horrible character?
No, that's true. That's a good girl is nothing but trouble for Bosch. There's no doubt.
And then the one from Homeland, and the one from Ray Donovan.
They're all terrible. And they don't listen to these things of like, this is a dangerous situation. I want you to listen to me. Like if someone said to me, there's a killer out there, I don't want you to go to a party, I ain't going. I'm not risking it. But there's no telling these cop daughters. All right, that's good. You ought to get some golf tees and stuff. I like, don't trust the cop's daughter.
Gail?
Yeah.
What did the banana say to your vibrator?
What did he say, Bob?
Why are you shaking so much? She's going to eat me.
All right, Bob.
Hey, I had to get it out there, Ron.
I know, Bob.
I had to get it out to the world.
But it's always
Bob,
weird when you
pregnant.
address it directly to me.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Yeah.
It's really sick, Bob.
A pregnant woman using a vibrator that's inappropriate.
Yeah, there's a baby involved now, Bob. There's a baby involved.
But you know what Bob brought up? I think that that's such a cliche to begin with, like the shitty teenage daughter that's in every TV show and movie. And it used to actually really confuse me. Is that really how teenage girls are, or is that just a stereotype? Because there would always be a thing where it would be like, you know, the teenage daughter would be like, shut up, dork, to her younger brother who was like way younger, like in elementary school. I would never treat my brother like that.
No, that is true that really the teenage daughters tend to be very nice.
Yeah.
like they're not really as suicidal, hateful of their fathers as much as you see on TV.
Yeah, like I'm sure that they exist out there, but they can't be the majority that the way entertainment acts like they are, particularly how shitty they are to their siblings.
Yeah.
Like most girls I knew who had younger siblings were like, hey, that's my brother or that's my sister. I look out for them. I didn't know a lot of them who's like, don't mind that loser. But get out of my room, loser. But that's how it always is in movies.
Yeah, the reality of it is it doesn't make good TV. Right? We want children that act like the daughter in The Last Boy Scout.
It's just not true. It is just not true.
Chris in Brooklyn, you're on the Bennington show.
I was going to say, speaking of like new good rock, that kind of sounds like other older acts. The War on Drugs. You guys like them?
I don't think I'm familiar with the War on Drugs. Gail?
They have a song,
I don't think I have.
Holding On. It's their last.
And what band do they sound like?
They sound like Paul Simon or kind of Bruce Springsteen or.
Well, these two people don't even sound like each other.
I know. I'm interested now.
All right, let's take a little listen to the War on Drugs. Well, it was a pretty good call on the Paul Simon.
Yeah, I definitely got that. Even like just like the chord changes was similar to that.
And then I thought he sang like the kid who did Summer of '69. Now.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely something, fun and lighthearted and kind of 80s about that sound. I mean, it's maybe not the big rock takeover we're looking for, but
there's a band out called the Young Skeeters, and I think they've got a sound. It's a little bit of a throwback sound, though. But I think there's enough of it that's original that you're going to be liking the Young Skeeters. I'm just going to play a couple minutes of it. I don't know. It's kind of an original sound. I like it.
I mean, I'm picking up an influence. I just can't figure out what.
I gotta find this girl that I was listening to on Spectrum over the weekend. Do we know who's like? Is there soundtracks to each different band?
Yes, to each station. Yeah.
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 All right, look it up, Vito. The song is something. I think the song has roots in it. You look it up, but Smoke in Arkansas wants to talk to us. Smoke.
Oh, buddies, congrats, Gail.
Thank you.
It is exciting.
It is exciting. Hey, I would like to say that Royal Blood, have y'all heard those guys?
I haven't. What's their sound?
Black Keys.
All right.
Crossed with a little bit of Led Zeppelin, maybe.
All right, so it's like Black Zeppelin or Lead Keys.
Black, yeah.
All right,
the song is called "Figure It Out," and they actually don't play guitars. It's the bass that they make sound like a guitar. It's a really kick-ass sound.
Wow, that's weird.
Okay, but give it a shot.
All right,
they're really good. They got
right now.
3 albums out now, and they're really all right. Bet. Rock
Thanks, Smoke. Peace. Missy.
Yes, that song "No Roots" I think is the one you're talking about by Alice Merton, and it rocks.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Gail.
All right.
Listen to this song and tell me exactly who she sounds like. All right?
Okay.
Gail?
She sounds exactly like Fiona Apple. to
There's
me.
not even. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, even the way she's pronouncing things, like she says "tear it down."
Yeah.
Like, and that's like the way Fiona Apple pronounces things. It's not an accent that exists. It's just the way she says things.
Now, here's the thing. I know it's 100% copy, and yet I'm like, fucking loving this song.
Yeah, because it's like Fiona Apple, but then like there's like this extra energy level. Like it's not just
It's like Fiona hasn't had in a while. Play a little more. I don't know. I think you can be too close. I think we've got to go all the way back to Toy Matinee when they sounded just like Steely Dan.
Yeah, it's a little close with the vocals there. I mean, it's definitely a different musical sound.
Oh, absolutely
but
not. I disagree 100%.
You
I
think
mean,
even-
it sounds exactly like a Fiona Apple song.
But yeah, even the way she's pronouncing words, it's so strange. But then yet you're still like, I like it.
Anna in Annapolis.
Hi, buddies.
Hey, buddy, long time.
I know, it's been a little while. But I'm always here listening, and I'm just crazy excited for Gal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So sweet.
God, that's a lucky baby. Lucky baby. So, Delta Ray. Have you guys heard of them?
Mm-mm.
Band. So they are like total rockers. They are a big touring band. We saw them once just by chance when we were going to see Carbon Leaf. We were at a beach bar in South Carolina, and they opened for Carbon Leaf, and we've been completely hooked ever since. And some of the airplay, like they were on Leno once, like before Leno was done. They played there, and they've done a couple different things, but their one song that's like I think the most rockin' is called Bottom of the River.
Now,
they're great.
All right, let's take a listen. Wow, that reminds me of my time when I used to run a pre-Civil War plantation. And
You know what I would like to do with that band? I would like to be the one who plays the bag of change.
Oh my gosh, it's a garbage can with a chain in it.
Oh,
It's
garbage
crazy.
can and a chain in it. Yeah.
But they're good. They'll be at the Gramercy. I just looked when you were playing it. They're at the Gramercy Theater May 18th. So it's an amazing live show. The girl with the big voice is this tiny little thing. And there's another girl that sings, and some of the guys in the band sing as well. But
maybe-
it's an amazing live show.
Maybe we can try to get them in here since they're going to be so close.
Oh my gosh, that would be ridiculous. You guys would love them.
All right, Anna. Thanks, sweetie.
Thanks.
Peace.
Thanks, buddies. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, Anna.
John.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Gail, I normally agree with you on everything, but I think that Alice Merton sounds more like Florence from Florence and the Machine.
And
But
Florence.
I think Florence sounds like Fiona.
Yeah.
Like I think Florence does a
well played,
kind of.
well played.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with that one.
played.
Fiona is the fucking OG. She is the OG of this whole goddamn situation. She and then the Skeeters, I do think they sound somewhat like Springsteen. I'm not going to lie to you.
The Young Skeeters?
Yeah, the Young Skeeters. I mean, they're getting to the point now they ought to drop Young from their name.
I know. Well, that's always weird. It's like what happened to the New Kids on the Block. You know, when you have a name like that, it doesn't last.
Boy, that fucking Stormy Daniels really likes trolling the president and his guy Cohen. I mean, it's a constant.
She really does.
I'll tell you, she's a porn star. That's what she is, a porn star.
Yes, that is her title.
I mean, can you just do porn and be considered a star immediately? It seems like you shouldn't be able to leap right to... You can't be an actor and just be called a movie star. And there's a lot of good actors who aren't movie stars.
I would agree with you. I think that term gets used very loosely. That I even remember there were two different girls in my college who people were like, she's a porn star. And I'm like, well, star is not really the word we're looking for.
She's in the industry.
She's working. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she gets work.
She's a working body actor.
Yeah.
I saw an article the other day that said that Tom Cruise is the last movie star. That there's no one who is a legitimate movie star since Tom Cruise.
Was Schwarzenegger before or after Tom Cruise?
He was before. And he's no longer a movie star, as you've probably figured out. Did you think that you were helping by bringing up the name Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 1982?
I wasn't sure when Tom Cruise came on the scene.
Well, I think really to the point is that there are not any current people who are making movies that, yes, they do very well and they're very popular and they're, sometimes their movies can, but it doesn't make everyone go, I have to see this movie because I love that person.
Well, even 100%. If they're in that, just because that you're in a big action film or a big comic book movie doesn't mean they're going to go see their next movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Where you went to see Jack Nicholson. You didn't go to see Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Right. Exactly. And that you could see that movie and then continue to go see his movies because you thought it was good. But 100%, once you're out of the franchise, that popularity, I don't think bleeds over.
That's why some people, like Captain Kirk, wasn't a real movie star, even though he could make Star Trek and be paid like one. But when he wasn't doing that. Hey, Rob, what's up?
Hey, guys. I'm really dying to get your opinion on the good old boys still rocking it out, Cheap Trick. Their last album is good.
What song you want us to listen to?
Nowhere. That's the one I think you guys will like the best. But the whole album's great.
All right. I heard the album before this one. But Chris, you're in trouble finding Nowhere?
I'm not finding Nowhere. I think I'll find it in a moment.
Is it The Sickness?
I don't think it's The Sickness.
Are you down with The Sickness?
Always. All right, found it.
All right, here we go. This is Nowhere, the new Cheap Trick. All right, here's always my problem with a band like Cheap Trick. I love them so much, it would be tough to jump into my top 10 Cheap Trick songs.
That's true. But, you're never going to miss completely with Cheap Trick because, they have that sound and they're great.
The rock and roll stars.
Yeah. And, Robin Zander's just so, I don't know. I just think that you can't really go wrong for sure with
100% agreed.
Yeah.
100% agreed.
I mean, that's a perfectly established sound. They sound like Cheap Trick from the second you hear a song.
Yeah. And they have so many great songs, though.
Yeah.
This is what always happens to every veteran band. Is how do you get a new favorite Neil Young song? You know what I mean? How do you get a new favorite Aerosmith song? U2 is going through this now. Springsteen, of course, is going through it now. You've already got so many favorite songs by them. How do you fit the new one in?
Yeah. I mean, most bands, you've got to figure your favorite stuff comes from their, first 3 albums?
Yeah, because that's where their sound is molded for you. But it doesn't mean that they can't keep writing great songs.
Exactly. That's almost more about a personal connection. But if you listen, you'll want to support them and then you'll listen to new stuff and then you'll go okay, but I'm going to put on that first album again.
Right.
Because that's what I really know and like.
Brandon in Arizona. Brandon.
Hey, good morning, Benningtons.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, and congratulations, Gail.
Oh, thank you.
That's so nice.
Got to throw that in there.
Everyone is so sweet.
Everybody's going to say it, but I've got to say that Chris Stapleton, the new song Tennessee Whiskey, every time I hear that, it's especially right at the beginning when it starts out really slow, it always brings me back to Eric Clapton.
All right, I'm going to take a listen because I've never made that connection, and I think Chris Stapleton is, pretty fucking terrific. Let's listen to see if you pick up on the Clapton sound. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing the Clapton thing. Do you pick up on it, Gil?
No, I'm not really picking up on it either. Maybe just because I feel like it kind of has its own thing to it. But yeah, I'm not really getting Clapton.
Savon in Philly.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Cool, man.
I just wanted to call in. You mentioned that song "No Roots" by I think Alice Merton earlier.
Yeah.
To me, that sounded exactly like the Bridget Everett "No Titty" song or the Titty song when she came out with that one.
Gail's mom said the same exact thing.
Oh my God!
When I said
really
Fiona,
funny.
she said it reminds her of Bridget Everett. Bridget Everett on the Fallon get together tonight. Who else is on that show?
I'll find out.
Have we tweeted out? Make sure you listen. And then Gail, your friend is on the Colbert Show tonight.
Who's on Colbert tonight?
Nell Scovell.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, Nell Scovell, who, I had as a guest on Gail Meets Girls. And if you want, go check that out. You can catch it on iTunes. She wrote a fantastic book, so I absolutely will be watching tonight.
What I think is amazing is to get on there after writing a book. I'm very shocked that she was.
I
What I
know.
mean? You don't get authors to go on.
It's very rare.
A late night show.
But she has just like such a fantastic career, and she's so charming, and I think everyone will pick up on that really quick because I fell in love with her immediately.
All right, cool. Brian in Michigan, what's up, Brian?
Hey guys, I just wanted to recommend a song for you. Check out Ron Gallo, "Young Lady You're Scaring Me." He's a Philly kid. He's bringing back the rock sound. I dig it.
All right.
Thanks.
Young lady, you're scaring me.
Here we go.
What's his name?
This is Ron Gallo.
All right, I'm digging that right away. Say what the name of this?
This is Ron Gallo, and "Young Lady You're Scaring Me" is the song.
I really liked that. I like any combination of that kind of like distortion plus the talk singing.
Yeah.
Brian Jonestown Massacre did that. Which
I
was
thought
also
of
like
Brian Jonestown Massacre immediately, too.
I dig it.
That might be the first song that jumped out at me since Lily Hyatt, which is still my favorite new performer.
Yeah, I love Lily Hyatt. I still really like Courtney Barnett a lot, who I think she's bringing a big rock sound. But again, these are people who, like they have a following, they get critical acclaim, but I don't know, if you're going to have these people in the mainstream light. You know what I mean?
Let's get behind it before we start. You know what I mean? Hedging our bet scale. Let's fucking push all in. Push the chips in.
I'm in for Ron Gallo for sure.
All right, I'm going to go 100% in for Lily Hyatt and say that she's the next Janis Joplin. Or I'm going to say she's the next Pete Seeger. I'm not going to fucking I'm not going to live it to a time or a gender.
That's woke.
Thank you, Josh in Virginia.
Yeah, that new Janelle Monáe song, "You Make Me Feel," it's got a lot of vibes like Prince.
Well, she always has Prince meets Michael Jackson sound about her. Adorable, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome that someone's still keeping it going.
Chris, Jersey, what's up?
What's up, Ron? Congratulations, Gail.
Thank you.
One thing that your baby will definitely have between you and Mr. Bennington is the most infectious laugh of all time.
Mm.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's so nice.
I'm a sweet guy.
Yeah.
So probably the best rock band that I've come across in the last 10 years that's still touring is a band called The Hold Steady. They're kind of like half from Minnesota, and now they're from Brooklyn, and I've seen them live 35 times, and they're the best live band. Just super guitar heavy, like kind of like Replacements meets Bruce Springsteen meets like punk in the 90s.
That's too big of a meetup.
They're great though. Yeah.
Yeah, give
They've
us
been around.
give us the song you want to hear, Chris.
Probably their most popular song that made mainstream was called Chips Ahoy, and I think it's a really good cross section of all their albums.
All right, we'll play a little bit of it. Thanks, Chris.
Peace.
I absolutely hated this band because of the lead singer, because I thought his voice was horrible. I listened to one song, I'm like, this band sucks. 10 years later, I break up with my girlfriend, and all I do is listen to The Hold Steady, and I become obsessed with them. It's fucking bizarre.
Now, why do you think that was?
I don't know. He sings a lot about bad relationships, and I think that just that got me. I was like, well, now I love this band. I'm going through some fucked up breakup, and now I'm going to listen to this guy.
Did you blame your breakup on your ex? Do you feel like it was her fault?
No, because I was just like a shithead. I was just a fucking bad boyfriend, and I just made her go crazy, than she actually was.
Do you feel like you won't make that mistake again with this girlfriend?
I'm trying not to.
Good.
Won't get fooled again.
That's all you can do, man. Is try to get a little better. That's all it takes.
That's all I can do.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about the Pooh with The Simpsons. I go, maybe it won't be better, but it's not going to be as bad as it was before. You know?
That's all we can hope for. I do like that you still think that you get to listen to angry breakup music even when it's your fault, though. I think that's funny. It's like, hey, I still deserve this.
You know what? I don't think you have to be right to feel something. You know what I mean? I think that you can be really wrong and feel it deeply. Still feel like she should come back to you and look at you the way she used to. Because she's just acting crazy right now. She's forgetting who she is. This isn't you.
You're hysterical.
Alan in Kentucky.
Hey, Ronnie B. Congrats, Gail, on getting knocked up. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
it. The whole idea about liking, the initial albums from your bands is absolutely, correct. Experiment. I always hear Vito or Jen or one of the young folks not hearing of a band you guys are talking about. So it might be a good experiment to have one of those folks go off and listen to the whole catalog from, the most recent down to the first, and then have them come in and tell you what they like the best.
Well, here's the interesting thing.
I'm not sure who to do it with, but
I don't think I could get Jen to like anything that I like. I'm not sure that she ever would. I saw the way she was looking at me so disgustedly during the Beyonce talk. It's not like she even wanted to make a point with me. She was just like, ew. And Vito, he has a little bit of knowledge when it comes to classic rock, so it would be, I don't know whether we could play any late in career Who and then move it all the way back to Who's Next, or else we have anybody like that to do that with.
I do know that the only rock music that I ever heard Jen say that she really liked was Leeds. When she heard Leeds, she was like, oh, yeah, this I can get behind.
That is the hot fucking band right now.
It's true.
A dog?
Like a Dog is the fucking big hot sound that all the kids are loving.
But other than that, she's usually like, I don't get it. I think her problem is that she said she doesn't like the yelling. She feels like she's being yelled at.
I guess she's right.
So hard, I know. Now come my way, let me show you the light in the day. Doesn't always show through. Like a dog, get down. Like a dog, like a dog, get down. Like a dog. Don't treat me this way now. Don't treat me this wrong. You're feeling the way you lay. This love is gone. So all my dreams, and the verdict it seems, you're so far gone. Don't even know what you mean. Like a dog, like a dog. And all you breathe is in the seed. Beat them down like a dog.
That was Leeds, Like a Dog. Connor, our former intern, lead guitar and vocals.
Let's just take a break here. This is Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Ron's Tour of New Jersey is happening April 27th and 28th at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. 2 shows each night. Go to stressfactory.com for tickets.
I'll be bringing my new girlfriend, the Cash Me Outside girl.
How about that?
Yeah. She and I have been running together. Seems like we're both big Instagram stars or something.
I don't want to judge. She does seem a little young for you.
Well, maybe that's why I like her, Gail. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
That you were aware of it, but what you like is how young she is.
Yes.
I saw that she was fighting with another, I don't know if she's an Instagram star.
It's
but
literally why I brought her up. Because I saw
Yeah.
that thing too, and I didn't understand what it was or why they were fighting or care.
It looked like they were in Disney World. It was very confusing. I'm not really sure where they were. It was very bright out. But that other girl, people were saying, is stealing her gimmick because she is also doing
But she
the same
talks
thing.
exactly like her.
Yes.
And then Lil Tay, I don't know how she was involved in it. Chris, you were saying that you had some breaking comedy news, and I said save it for the air. What do you have?
Maria Bamford is filing for a restraining order against Donald Trump.
Wow, that is quite the publicity machine, isn't it, Maria?
Interesting.
Over nuclear war fears. She's getting a lot of anxiety and depression about this.
She's having zero of it. She wants everybody to know she has a new tour. That's all. I'd rather pay attention to the real stuff, like Judah Friedlander and his march for the White House.
Judah Friedlander 2020, the World Champs Presidential Press Conference that's happening in Moon Tower in Austin, Texas, this Saturday, April 21st at 5 p.m. Doors are it's at 5 p.m. at the Velveeta Room. Go to theibang.com to request tickets.
I just got added to another Saturday night gig there, too. So I think that's, besides Judah, 2 more.
You're going to be busy out there.
Yeah. I'm going to be real busy.
And for all
I'm
of Ron's
excited
shows at Moon Tower, go to austintheater.org.
You're pluggy boy today, aren't you?
You're so pluggy. I didn't even know you were going to just keep plugging.
Gail, what's up in your head right now?
Well, there was something that I didn't even tell you happened this weekend. I wanted to wait until I saw you. But this weekend, I don't hear from Chris all weekend long. We're not texting. We're not doing anything. Then out of nowhere, kind of late at night over the weekend, I get a text from Chris that simply says, yummy.
First of all,
just
Chris,
says, yummy.
Chris is becoming a full-service nutty buddy.
Dude.
So was that meant for the girlfriend?
Yeah, that was meant for my lovely girlfriend.
Now, here's the thing that I text him, what, dude? And then he's like, oh, shit, fuck. Like, he immediately
But why are you
turned back
acting like
into-
you just heard about it now, Chris?
Because the awkwardness and the embarrassment of that fucking wrong text.
Yummy.
So then he
Yummy.
says to me,
You're pregnant. You don't need this fucking double nut pervert
It's
fucking
so-
hanging around you.
it's so creepy. And so then I said,
He'll give the baby scurvy.
He's like, fuck, dude. Sorry, that was meant for my girlfriend. And then immediately my head is going like, what specifically? Are they talking about food or are they not talking
Her
about
asshole is yummy.
I'm not saying what we were talking.
Yummy.
Yes, I texted yummy to Gail by mistake. And I feel my face just getting
You
fucking
know that
red.
she's pregnant, dude. That's really gross.
I'm
what you
aware.
did.
And it became reaware in my head when I saw, oh my God, that went to Gail. Fuck.
Oh, good. But was it better or worse it going to me, or what if it had been Ron? Would that have been worse?
I think it's.
I would have just wrote back "Daddy likey" to him. Now, was it about food or sex?
It was not. I'll just say it was not about food, Ron.
Oh God!
Well, what does
See,
she
I
have
knew
that's
it.
so yummy?
I'm not going into any more detail about that, other than it was a wrong text, not meant for Gail.
Is it her vagina that's so yummy, and why?
Talk about any of these things.
I'm gonna assume it's her vagina.
No specifics.
Does
Is
it
it that
taste
you're
like an
saying-
apricot?
Yummy. I fucking felt.
I'm gonna guess from where she is. I bet every time you go down on her, you get the back taste of plantains.
Platanos, Ron. Platanos. But yes, I texted that.
That's hard. That's
God.
I've had wrong texts before. Like when I
Yeah.
was on Tinder, like I would be talking to a couple different women at once, and then like I would like text a question that meant for one to the other, and then I had to like fucking like, oh, this sucks, whatever. But this to Gail, I don't know if I can come back from this. I feel fucking terrible.
Look, one time I got a text that says, "Can't wait to this weekend. We're going to be all alone." And I just started fucking texting back as fast as I could. "This is your brother.
Oh, no.
I'm your brother."
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God!
Yeah,
It's
it was the
so-
worst.
Oh, so horrible. My worst of all time that I still think of. Like, you know, like that's true embarrassment when you'll think of it like months or years later and it'll just like hurt you that it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm texting two different people at once, plus I'm having an in-person conversation. I'm having too much going on that obviously something was bound to happen. So I am texting with my ex-boyfriend, my current boyfriend, and then in a real life conversation with my father, right? So these three conversations are happening all at the same time. My ex-boyfriend has texted me to tell me, you know, I know it's been a while since we talked, but I wanted you to know my great grandmother passed away, who I was in their life for many years, and he wanted me to know she passed away at 100. So we're talking about that, and you know, and he's going through his sadness, and we're talking about memories. I am in a conversation with my current boyfriend about Amy Schumer, as well as with you. You and I are talking about Amy Schumer.
Why?
This is pre-Amy Schumer, like before she got really big. And remember when she did the roast where everyone said she went too far?
With Patrice?
It was like Patrice,
Yeah.
right? So we were kind of discussing her backlash. So of course this is not, you know, she's not a huge star, but she's well known at this point. And we were like, why was it that she got the level of backlash that she got about her jokes? So as I'm having this conversation, my ex-boyfriend texts to me the phrase, "I hope you kept the booties she knit for you." And then my response was, "Yes, of course, because she has a reputation of a slut." Which was in response to when people think women are promiscuous, they're harder on their comedy. Like, it was a whole deep conversation that we were having.
A dead grandmother.
So I said, "Did you keep the booty she knit for you?" "Yes, of course, because she has the reputation of a slut." And it was just horror. I mean, this is an ex-boyfriend that I hadn't talked to in a long time, so it was nice that we had like a nice civil, nice little conversation. And I still to this day think about my panic and over-explaining and sweating and trying to say, "You don't understand, I'm texting someone about another thing that has to do with, but I'm not talking about your grandma's a
Which,
slut
by the
at
way,
all."
gets you fucking really annoyed when someone even says that.
I
That
know,
wasn't
'cause-
meant for you. Remember that scene in Her when he goes, "How many other people are you talking to?" And she's like 6,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was
Yeah.
just disgusted.
Yeah, because nobody wants to think that you're having the, sorry for your loss, grief conversation, while they're also like laughing and joking with someone else.
No, it's true.
You want to believe that this is the only text conversation happening, and it was such horror.
Did he write back, "My grandmother's not a slut"?
Yeah, he was just like, why would he? And it took a while. So I didn't see it at first. It wasn't like I sent it, went, "Oh, fuck." I get a text back from him like, "Why would you say that?" It's so horrible. I have to explain, no, I didn't keep her booties because she's a slut. That doesn't make sense.
All right, hold
Why
on.
would someone
Listen
keep
to Ocean Jerk here. Ocean Jerk, what's up?
Hi, Bennington.
Hey.
So last year, a few of my buddies, we all go to the Yankee game. Everyone's drinking, and we're getting to that age where everyone's a bit older. So when we get together, it's a lot of like, let's just go for it, do it like the old days.
Right.
Our buddy gets so drunk at Yankee Stadium, and it's when Apple came out with the iPhones, where like when you're texting, if you hit the camera button, you can take a picture of what you're looking at currently.
Mm-hmm.
He mistakenly at the urinal takes a picture of his dick and was texting his girlfriend's dad. Sent it right to the guy. Realizes it 5 seconds after when he gets back to the seat. Had to leave the stadium. I've never seen someone turn white. It was
That would be the end of everything.
Yeah.
That would be it. I could never go back.
No. Unfortunately, he kept the relationship going. It ended for other reasons. But I couldn't. The guy stayed in there like a trooper another 6 months.
Yeah, I can't even understand that. I would have hung myself first. I
There's
literally
Well,
would
I
have hung
think all
myself.
parties, in a situation like that, all parties have to just be like, all right, this is it. God bless them for trying.
Ugh.
No, yeah, I think you can't recover from that. You never will be the same. Her dad will never be the same. She'll never. Just let's call it quits. It's
Well,
over.
First of all, it just goes to show nothing of this happens in real life. It's all technology. You don't make these kind of mistakes
right
in your actual life. Did you guys ever see that movie? It's something like Dave and Mike need wedding dates
Mike
or
and Dave
something.
need wedding dates, yeah.
Vito, do you remember the scene where his sister's getting a massage and she starts fucking getting sexually into it just as he walks in and she screams at him this is her own like brother, Mike, I'm coming. And for some reason I found it to be the funniest thing in the last 71 years. But that goes to show you shit like that would never happen, and yet it can happen thanks to your fucking phone.
Yes.
I had a text sent to me by accident by a friend. Me and Ian were texting one day at 10 a.m. and we're just having a conversation.
Did you text the N-bomb to him mistakenly?
Oh, God.
No. We're texting, and all of a sudden, mid-conversation, I get sent a GIF of him jerking off under his underwear, and I don't know what to do, and I'm like, dude.
You just started coming yourself?
No. I'm just staring at my phone like, fuck, what do I say to my friend? I didn't think this is what happened. And he goes, no, that was for Victoria. That was for Victoria.
It wasn't, dude.
They always say that.
I would stop being friends. You can't go back beyond that. It's over, Vito.
Luckily, it was under the underwear, so that made it better, in my opinion.
No.
That just makes you more fucking curious.
I think that the problem with it is that it's an action. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Almost like a still dick pic. I think you could undo that, but something about the way the video is going to stay in your memory. You're going to see that motion forever.
And people have said, like fucking text back to people, hold on, the bitches on the phone again. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit has gone down.
Oh, so cringy.
Fucking hate the future and I hate the current. It's too much.
I had a situation where two coworkers of mine, one male, one female, were discussing.
Jen
they
and
were
Vito?
servers. No, they were servers, and they were discussing back and forth. Hey, I'm not gonna be making that shift. Can you take that shift? Whatever. And they're going back and forth. And then she says, "Look, I know that you're gonna make less money at that shift, so I'll be happy to give you the difference what you would have made because you're already doing this favor for me." And so he says, "Yes, that sounds good." And then she writes to him, "I'm going to take your dick so far down my throat." And like this whole thing comes immediately after that. And then he just writes back, "The money will be fine." But she was texting her, "The money will be fine. You don't have to do it." She's like, "That was meant for my husband. That was meant for my husband." So it really, the way I actually saw the text, and it really looks like part of the negotiation. That's the part that's so horrible.
I already just said great.
Yeah. Like, what if he had wrote back? Like, that works too. Yeah, I'd love that.
How about how Chris was jerking off to his girlfriend the other night and sends it to a pregnant woman?
Yummy.
Yummy.
The whole pregnancy thing means nothing to you, huh, Chris? You stay filthy?
It was a mistake.
Oh, there's a lot of dudes that are into banging pregnant chicks.
Yeah, that's a fetish, you know?
Is that your fetish?
It's not my fetish. This was just an accident, Ron. It was just an accident.
Oh, you don't have to be hurtful about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people still find me attractive, Chris. Maybe I want to feel yummy.
Oh.
Yummy. So was it not a conversation? Did she send you a picture?
I guarantee you it was about dessert.
I actually afterwards I was thinking, is it more embarrassing if she said, I'm going to make this for dinner tomorrow, and he write, yummy, or if they're talking sexually? And both seemed uncomfortable to me.
Yeah, they're both horrible.
Yummy.
Because I hate when people say yummy. I hate when people say it. It's like one of my
I
least
never took
favorite
Chris
words.
as a baby talker.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah, you keep
Do you-
doing it, but you want to be creative about it.
Do you, is that part of your play when you guys are sexual
Baby
with
play?
each other?
There's
You're-
no
you're
baby.
the
Is there
baby.
age play?
No age. There's no littles or whatever. No.
Do you wear a diaper?
I don't
or
wear a diaper.
diaper, I guess, as you would call it.
His thing is he likes to pretend that he has AIDS. And they have to have very careful sex. Oh, God, listen to the coughing.
Oh, he's so sickly.
Dude, you ought to fucking switch out with Vito and let Vito go to Austin with me.
No. Vito is not going to Austin with you. I'm coming with you.
Oh.
That sounded
Yummy.
sexual. Was not meant to be.
Yummy. Hey, Tom. Tom in Ohio, you're on Bennington.
Hey, first time caller, long time listener. Hi, guys.
Thanks, man. Good to talk to you.
I was serving in Kosovo, and I was trying to get my girlfriend to fool around with me on email because back then we didn't have FaceTime or anything.
So sad.
And she was replying. She was doing a reply all from an earlier email that we had sent to the whole family. Oh, yeah.
No.
It went there, and it went to her family and my family.
How graphic
And
was
it?
it?
Was graphic.
Oh, very?
It was. Yeah, I was really trying hard to make her play along. Yeah.
Well, you could have been killed over
That's
that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
yeah.
Back from. I think the only reason I got a pass on this because I was overseas.
yeah, I believe that you deserve that pass. I mean,
Thank you
let's
for
not
your
just
service.
fucking, let's not just support the troops. Let's actually give a reason. It should hurt a little bit when we support the troops. Hey, Paul in Jersey.
Hey, buddies.
Hey.
So, this is back before smartphones. I used to have, just one of those regular texting phones.
Yeah.
And I was seeing a girl named Amanda. And I would, when I get lazy, I would just say, hey, send to Amanda. But above it, it would say send all. And I almost sent a dick pic. The only thing that saved me was it said, cannot send all these people. I would have sent a dick pic to basically everybody in my life. My boss, my family, my friends, anybody who cared about me. Thank God that shitty technology saved me.
You know what? They would have said this. They could have said the night that he committed suicide, he also sent out a picture of his penis. Everyone who knew. I guess it was a cry for help.
Oh, my God.
I do crowdsourcing things in the room, and there is never a guy who admits to sending out a dick pic, and there is never a woman in the room who hasn't gotten an unexpected dick pic.
Oh, yeah. I think every woman I know has a story about getting a dick pic from someone they did not request one from.
No, I used to even, as soon as you could do that, and a lot of the listeners were hanging out together, a lot of people would come to me about guys I know, and they would go, look, he's sending me pictures of his penis. Could you talk to him? And I would say, absolutely not. I go, that's got to be between you and him. You want to make it between you and the authorities and him. Go ahead and do it. It will have nothing to do with me. I will not tell my friends or even just fucking listeners that I happen to know. Do not send out pictures of your penis.
It's a private matter.
A person that I know said that this guy was like a brother. She said he's like a brother to me. We've known each other for years. And he just sent me a picture of his penis. Could you talk to him? Nope. I cannot talk to him.
No, thank you. I never sent a dick pic to my ex-girlfriend, but...
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she like it?
Well, she said she was used it to masturbate with all the time.
But so she would feed stray cats in the neighborhood, and there was a family that would also feed stray cats. And, like, there was a son in the family, and he sent her a fucking dick pic.
That's the kind that happens. That's exactly how it happens with people.
And just because they fed the cats together, I guess I'll just send her a picture of my dick.
I bet that in his little fucking crazy mind, he thought when she saw that picture of his cock that it was so beautiful that she would run over it and want to put her mouth on it.
How could she help herself?
I think that's where the confusion is. I think that men are putting themselves in a woman's place and they're trying to think, what would make me want to sleep with someone? And it would be like, oh, you literally sent me a naked picture of her. But women don't work that way. We don't have the visual cues. Not even just cues, but it's just like you can't help yourself. If there's a visual thing, you got to look at it, and now that's all the focus is on.
Well,
women
look,
don't work that way.
Here's the odd thing, though. Young girls do watch porn now, right?
Yes.
And I tried to talk to the audience with this, and I saw that they when I was on stage, I got laughs, but I got some looks of horror as well. And I was trying to make this point. When I was a young person, when you first start having sex, 9th, 10th grade, the women that I was with, probably the first hard penis any of these girls had seen was mine. I was either going to be the first or second, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if you're a young girl, before you have sex, you've seen porn dick, right? Yeah. Lots and lots of porn dick. So this would be like the first time you meet a human being, a young man, was after like watching NBA games for fucking years, right?
Yeah.
You don't run into people the size of NBA players, and a porn dick is pretty much outside. You know, that might be like a 1% of all the cock that's out there is porn size. So they're probably immediately stunned by the size of that cock.
Yeah, the thing is, porn can be entertaining, but it definitely does not set you up to what to expect.
Right.
When
in no
you have
way.
sex.
In
No
sexuality.
way, shape, or form is it setting you up for this is what you're going to do and this is what you're going to see.
Amy.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
So I have a 12-year-old son, and he was being like a total pain in the ass one day. And I sent a text to my husband that Sam was being a twat, but I accidentally sent it to a big mom's group text.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so the silver lining was the moms who thought it was funny, I realized those are the ones I actually want to be friends with.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, those people are going to grow up the same time as you, probably refer to their children as twats every once in a while. And anyone who isn't like that, fuck them.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Sam is being a twat.
He was crying about a water bottle.
It's twatty.
Yeah, that's twatty, all right. There's no doubt about it. Chris is right.
Yep. But all well that ends well.
I don't know. I don't know if that's even true. Hey, Matt. Matt, you're on with the Bennington Show.
Is this me?
I guess.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
I don't know you that well.
Sorry. Oh. No, I worked with technology, and we had these iMac computers. We told these people all the time, do not sync your personal accounts. Well, this one person took to her personal account and then didn't sign out and left the system that we were in. And all of these messages started popping up on our system and all these pictures from our overseas boyfriend.
Oh, Jesus. Well, a lot of people around here will do stuff like if they leave their shit open, right, that somebody will take it and write like it's a funny joke. And I saw that blow up a couple times.
Yeah.
Where it caused a lot of fucking heat.
That was very big in college. And I remember a friend of mine left his, I believe at that time it was MySpace open. And then another friend went in and put a picture of his own very strange and rather small penis as his profile picture. And so he was like, this is hilarious. Everyone thinks that's your penis. But it's just like, yeah, but now we know it's your penis. Like, yeah, I guess for a minute everyone thought that for some reason that was my very small, very pointed penis. But now we all know it about you. And he's like, yeah, but dude, seriously, you looked pretty dumb there.
Now everyone thinks I have a very pointed penis.
It was so pointed. It was like an arrow. It looked like an arrow.
Me and my arrow. Do, 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 do. Hey, let's go to Blake in Toronto. Blake.
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah.
So, when I was first dating my wife, we're going back about 5 years now, was on my way over to her parents' house for dinner, and she was already there. So I sent her a couple text messages to saying, hey, on my way, this, that, and the other thing, and she didn't get back to me. So I figured, oh, that's kind of weird. So I sent her a text saying, I can't wait to bury my face in your tight little ass. And as we're sitting down at the dinner table, her phone starts dinging. And I'm thinking, well, that's odd. And I guess my messages didn't go through at the time. And her dad stands up, looks at her phone, and reads out loud in front of her mom and her brother, I can't wait to bury my face in your tight little ass. Reads this out loud in front of everybody.
Now, did he find it to be funny?
He did chuckle, and it's funny. We're married today, and like I said, about 5 years now, and every family function, every Christmas, every holiday, any family member that I have not met, he tells this story to.
Wow.
My God.
And I
That's a
thought
weird
for sure I was going to get my ass kicked, but all's well ends well. We're married, and it's a good laugh amongst the family.
Blake, I think sooner or later you need to ask your wife if something happened to her when she was younger.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're not the one who's coming off weird here.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah, she's fine, you're fine.
What?
He's a creepo.
Yeah, like, why is he getting such delight from this? That should have been his
yummy.
horrifying moment.
Greg in Philly.
Hello, Bennington.
Hey, man.
Congratulations, Gail, on
Oh,
the baby
thank
Bennington.
you. Oh, so sweet.
Hey, Ron, I hadn't heard. Is this your first one? Is this the golden grandchild for you?
I didn't know that was a term, the golden grandchild.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, the firstborn in my wife's family and the grandson, his son as well, they're the golden grand people, that's for sure. They're the golden kids.
I never knew that. I never heard that term before.
Nice. On my
This one can
mom's
do
side,
no
I'm a
wrong.
golden grandchild.
No, can do no wrong. You know, well, we'll see. It will be a Bennington child, right? So, we will see.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, didn't know that you even liked the first more than the others or anything like that. I never had
I
that
don't know.
scene.
Yeah, I don't know. Golden grandchild, it just comes with my in-laws because there's a lot of them, and the first was a son, no less. Anyway, I digress. But I called about something. This happened to a friend of mine Friday night. We were having some pregame drinks before a nice event down here in Collingswood, and the friend gets a text, and her husband's away, the babysitter's there, and it says, "These kids are a nightmare." And it wasn't meant for mom. It wasn't meant for the mom of the kids. It was meant for her mom. And so, like, I come up the driveway, and I just see her speeding away, and needless to say, she's a sweetie, and they work hard on him. But, man, she did not make the nice event in Collingswood because that kid was sent home.
All right, thanks, man. That's hilarious.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Yeah, any, like, Any just kind of back talk, like you're coming off like you're catty, is embarrassing. Like, we all do it.
Right.
We've all said catty things to the people who we're closest to. But it's so painful to be caught because you're like, I don't really think that about you, but I kind of do. It's just awful.
Well, because we do it we do like occasionally say stuff like, Chris's life is a fucking mess.
Oh, Jesus.
But the thing is, you would also say it to him, but it's worse if he was walking up and you said that.
100%. That's so much worse. Because then you're like, hey, it's one thing if you said it to my face, but why are you saying it when I'm not here? Like,
Right.
You're just having that conversation. I mean, I think about even the way me and my man talk about our own friends. Like, we'll be like, oh, this was a pain in the ass thing he did, or can you believe her annoying boyfriend? But if I got caught saying those things, I would be like, no, I don't really feel it that strongly, but this is a safe zone where we can say those things.
Nate in Florida.
Hey, Benningtons.
Hey, man.
Hey, congratulations, Gail.
Thank
Big fan.
you.
I've been listening to Bennington since the 90s. Listen, I married a British chick about 20 years ago. And when I first met her parents brought over from England the photo albums of them all on vacation in England,
Mm-hmm.
just loaded with topless pictures of her mom. So I'm sitting there with about a 70-year-old British woman who's showing me 30 or 40-year-old pictures of her topless bathing. It was very uncomfortable.
Did you say stuff like your tits were amazing back in the 70s?
What happened?
Huge bush. Out of control.
Out of control 70s bush. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Mike, what's up?
Hey, Bennington, it's an honor and a privilege to be on this program.
Oh, thanks.
You guys are aces. Anyway, so several years ago, I had one of those cell phones with a QWERTY board, and was taking a day off work. It was going to be a busy day. A lot of people were really jealous that I had got the day off. And one of my coworkers sent me a text saying, well, I hope you're happy. We're really busy. And I responded on my cell phone with the QWERTY board, oh, I just got out of bed. Except that the B and the N are next to each other on that QWERTY board. So I typed, I just got out of Ned.
Oh, boy.
And that still haunts me to this day.
Yeah, it should.
It got around to the entire department.
You were so deep in Ned.
Yeah. that was the thing. Everybody wants to know who Ned is to this day.
Yeah,
and
even I do. Dude. Even I don't believe you. I think you actually had something happen. Hey, Kathy.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. How are you?
Go.
So, you want... I just say, were we still talking about?
Yeah, whatever you give us is good, Kathy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a long time ago, when answering machines, that's how we communicated. I had just broken up with this boyfriend, and so I put on my answering machine, who are you and why would I care? And the very next call was my former mother-in-law. And she said, this is Stacy, your mother-in-law. Call me back. And I was like, oh, God. It was horrible.
Well, all your exes still in Texas.
Yes, all my exes, well, yes, they're still in Texas.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks,
Okay,
Kathy.
thank you.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Kathy, I'm lost. I said, but I knew she was sleeping.
Kathy has a great
Empty and
accent.
aching, and I don't know why. We're going to Texas tomorrow, Chris.
And we're going to be unmasking David Cross Friday on 420.
Unmasking him.
We unmasked with David Cross Friday, April 20th, 420 at 4 p.m. The Velveeta Room in Austin, Texas. The ibang.com to request tickets. And on Saturday, it's Judah Friedlander 2020, the World Champs Presidential Press Conference. That's happening Saturday, April 21st, 5 p.m. at the Velveeta Room. Also, the ibang.com for tickets.
Looking forward to that. Judah is hilarious, and I'm very excited. I don't know if he's 100% going to say that he's going to run for president, but why not Judah Friedlander? Why
Yeah.
not?
I'd be very interested to hear what his platform is.
I still don't know what Trump's platform is.
Nope.
I know one thing. I don't like that fucking Jim Comey at all.
No.
I didn't like him all weekend long.
Yeah.
He's a little fucking... I don't know why he thinks he matters more than everybody else.
Whiny.
He's a little Weasley for someone his height.
Little Weasley for somebody who thinks he's as good a person as he apparently thinks he is. He is what I would call a real jagoff. Now, I'd say if you remember this from a movie. Jack off. I don't jack off.
Wait, what is it? That's from an 80s movie?
Yes, from an 80s movie.
Yeah, hold on. This is going to drive me nuts. It's like somebody says jack off like in passing?
Yes.
Or something. And
then he goes, jack off. I don't jack off.
Shit, what is it?
Are you ready for the summer?
Oh, yeah.
That's from Meatballs. That's a little thing from Meatballs.
When they go by in the boat.
Yeah, exactly. We got to take a little breaky break here. Right back, Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. It's time for the Bennington barometer. Why is everyone laughing?
Because of how just low key you came in with that. It was this big monstrous thing.
I know.
I can't host the game show that I'm about, Chris. We need a host.
I have the first Bennington barometer. Bennington barometer?
Way to lay the thing for it. Okay, go ahead.
Sushi versus tapas.
I'm going to easily say sushi.
I had tapas.
Why?
I definitely knew it was going to be sushi.
Vito's not even involved. You know why? Because he didn't come back and set the table and how we play the game and what we do. It's always smaller than life with ours. Chris, that's your last Bennington barometer that we try. Vito,
no.
We all understand how the Bennington barometer works, or we understand how not to do it now. You got to come in bigger than life, explain how it works, and off we go.
The Bennington barometer.
Bob Fonseca's Bennington barometer.
I'm going to ask you about two things, both of which you enjoy and love. And you're going to have to make the difficult decision of which one you enjoy
I'm
more.
going to make that decision. I swear to God, I will.
That is fucking huge, and you're going to make it.
I'm going to make the decision.
Even if this decision kills you. So my Bennington barometer.
Yeah.
The 1980 Phillies or the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles.
This is a fucking great one.
That is a good one.
Because I was going to say nothing. Not even wedding dates are up there with the 1980 Phillies. Gail, what do you pick?
All right. I feel like my guess is going to be the 1980 Phillies because I feel like you kind of can't top the nostalgia. That's why I think that's going to be your pick.
Stangley?
I have the Eagles because it is the freshest Philadelphia win.
Vito?
I wanted to say the Phillies, but I think just all this time building up has brought it to the Eagles, even as important as that Phillies win was.
I'm going to explain it to you this way. This last one, I wanted for everyone else, right? I wanted everybody to get their win. In 1980, I was a child. I had no idea my life would be filled with such sports frustrations. You know, the Flyers had come off a couple of back-to-backs. We were going to go over the top in no time at all because we had Dr. J. And we expected to win a Super Bowl in 1980. So the Phillies were purely for me. And for that case, they were more pure and will never be touched again. The 1980s Phillies. Yes. But, Vito, I never would have thought about that. without your fantastic idea. I mean, you could have thrown some sushi or tapas thing out there. You didn't bother. You came in bigger than life. Bob would be excited with you right now. And I'm going to give him your love.
This is all for Bob. Bob
I
Fonseca.
know.
All
This
right,
is Bob's
Gail.
baby.
We're one-on-one on whether this thing works, and I'm a little nervous because this is the same guy that's going to be handling Judah Freelander's run, and I don't want that to come in tomorrow. Here's what I'm so frightened about.
Okay.
I'll get down there. There's going to be one balloon and a fucking banner that you write up that just says Jude. I need it to be big for Judah.
It's going to be.
Don't do to him what you've done to me.
I mean, that opener couldn't be bigger with the natural coming into it. Oh, God.
He's
All
sick.
right.
You're sick, though, right?
I think it's just allergies.
Okay. But I meant mentally.
No, that yes, I am mentally.
You are
sick.
mentally ill.
But you're
All
going to
right.
learn radio. You've only done it for 11 years.
That's yes.
Gail, here we go.
All right. I have for you
Mm-hmm.
2 albums by the same artist.
Oh, my
that
God.
I know you love so much. It is now time for you to decide. Are you Ziggy Stardust or Hunky Dory?
2 great albums by the great David Bowie. Both perfect albums.
Perfect. Flawless albums that I know you love.
Chris, you get to go first.
I have you picking Hunky Dory.
Not based on anything. Okay. Vito, what do you have me picking?
I'm going Ziggy because I've heard you talk about that album before.
I talk about both those
I
albums.
know, but the way you
about
talk about
both
that
a
one's
lot.
just
Yeah. Gail, you're the tiebreaker.
All right. This is difficult because normally I would take something like this as a bad sign. But my instinct is to go Hunky Dory, and I'm terrified that it was the Chris Stanley pick because I feel like he usually is wrong. But I do feel like you have a more deep personal connection with Hunky Dory. Ziggy Stardust, I think you appreciate as a great album, but I think you think a lot of people would pick that as their favorite Bowie album. But I think your personal connection goes with Hunky Dory.
I remember the first time I heard the song Changes and felt like I was kicked in the fucking chest. I stood and stared at a fucking radio as it was playing. I was going, what is this beautiful thing? Life on Mars is my probably favorite song of all time. And yet the thematic purposes that we're singing not just about the alien, but about rock and roll itself. I am going to pick Ziggy Stardust.
Wow.
I think it's
I
a
knew I
fucking...
fucked up.
Other than the song It Ain't Easy, which I despise that it shows up on there, it's an actual perfect thematic album. It is about the rise and fall of not just Ziggy Stardust, but his Spiders from Mars.
Oh man, I should have aborted mission. I wanted to dig deep in what I believed.
I know that the smart artistic thing is supposed to say hunky dory. I get that.
Right.
But I want to be true. You know what I mean?
No,
I
I'm
want to
glad
be true.
Bennington Barometer has to be about truth.
Right.
Deep personal truth.
Right. I mean, this just isn't sushi or tapas.
No, it's something anyone could pick.
All right. We're getting ready to wrap today up. And the good news, as I hear, is that the rains are ending. And we just had ferocious, terrible weather here in the Northeast. But I consider this the end of it. The end of a long, brutal winter. But these cold rains are a million times colder than snow is. You'd much rather have snow than just sheets of ice rain whipping across you, like we've had. Anything on the big television screen tonight? Oh, yes. You want to see our friend Bridget will be on the Tonight Show.
And Nell Scovell will be on Colbert.
Bridget Everett on the Tonight Show. And somebody that's friends with Gail that just recently did Gail Meets Girls is doing Colbert.
Yes, Nell Scovell, who's just had a massive, amazing career as a comedy writer. So I'm definitely going to be checking both of those out.
And a lot of this book is about the glass ceiling that she cracked of being the first young lady who was writing comedy. And some of it, including the Letterman show, a little bit on the unpleasant side.
Yes. And, it's just kind of a really interesting look at kind of just like how she navigated that world and where she just had limitations and everything. But she's just had a phenomenal career. So she has a crazy amount of stories.
I think the thing about Dave being somewhat of a leering creep just made me like him all the more. I don't know why that is. You don't have to be perfect for me, you know? You could just be somewhat flawed for me to go, oh, I dig that dude.
You probably prefer a little flaw. Like if you thought someone was a great artist and they were a perfect human being, would you start to then question the merit of their art?
Well, I'll tell you this. I knew one perfect human being and they hung her from a cross. Am I right, everybody? You know who I'm talking about, right? That poor kid out in Oklahoma that got jumped by those weirdos that hung him from a cross. All right, that's it for us. Tomorrow, we will be in, but then, Gail, you're taking over the show for the rest of the week, and Vito on Friday is something he's been working on a long time, the Bennington 3-year anniversary, where if you've listened to this show over the last 3 years, you're going to be into this, and since I have zero memory, I'm going to love this show.
I know. This will be a refresher for everyone.
I can't wait to find out what we've been doing for the last 3 years.
It's a blur.
All right, Chris, you got anything you need to plug?
Ron, you're going to be at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey, Friday, April 27th, Saturday, April 28th. 2 shows each night. StressFactory.com for tickets.
Now, Flathead writes to you, Gail. Anyone who knows me knows that it's Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, all right.
So, peace. All right, that's it for us. Fun day. Made it through the rains. And we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!